I'm Dr. Mandy Wyant with Family Chiropractic and Wellness, and today I want to talk about posture and desk ergonomics and the role that that has on a lot of the common conditions that we see here in the office. So the main thing I guess I want to start with is posture is a process. So most people come in and we talk about how posture is part of what's contributing to, say, their shoulder tension or their neck pain or their headaches, but they think that they can just go back to work and sit up straight and everything will be better. But for most people, they've been sitting with poor posture and that forward posture for so long that it starts to build and build, and that becomes their normal. So it's not as simple as just sitting up straight. It's really a retraining process to get both proper posture and proper alignment, but also to start retraining yourself to hold that so that it doesn't just come right back on you long term. So first I want to touch on the impact that poor posture has on the neck and upper back area, because that's what tends to take the brunt of that forward posture that so many people have. So many people sit at a desk all day, every day, and when you add that up, for 40 years of sitting at a desk with work, it really starts to take its toll on the body and on the spine. So many people, whether it's just because they are focused on what they're working on in front of them or just habit, tend to slouch with the shoulders. And as soon as you slouch with the shoulders, the head goes forward. And even if it's just slight, where that head starts to get carried in front of the body, that really impacts the angle upon the neck, and that can start to turn into conditions over time. So what we often see is that patients that complain of anywhere from pain between the shoulder blades, tension in the traps, those big muscles on top of the shoulders, pain into the neck, or just general stiffness in the neck, and headaches. It all ties together. Because often when you sit with that head just slightly in front of the body, it really starts to impact the mechanics of the way the whole neck is moving. It starts to put a lot more pull on those muscles that run from the base of the skull, down the back of the neck, and into the shoulders. And so over time, it just starts first as a slight tension, but that tension just builds and builds and builds, and you start to get a lot of stiffness in movement. You start to get headaches radiating from this area. So tension pattern headaches are probably the most common type of headache out of all of the different classifications, and they often get confused with sinus headaches because tension pattern headaches can originate from the upper neck, base of the skull region, and wrap around the head and be felt often at the eyebrows or kind of behind the eyes. So people think it's their sinuses that's causing their headache, but it's actually a referred headache coming from that occipital nerve at the base of the skull. One of my favorite conditions to treat is headaches because it responds so well to chiropractic care. So what we usually talk about is we assess the motion through the neck and the tension in the muscles. We decide if we need to get any x-rays taken, because if this goes on long enough, it can start to cause a permanent change in the curve in the neck, and you can start to see some straightening out of that curvature. What that's going to cause long term is some arthritis. So just like how if your car tires get slightly misaligned, you'll start to see one tire's wearing down faster than the other three. That's what happens with the joints of the neck. When you get that forward misalignment of the curve in the neck, it really starts to compress those discs, which are cartilage in the spine, and they start to wear down. So we start to see as early as our 30-year-old patients, and definitely into 40 and 50-year-old patients, if they've done nothing about this, we start to see some disc degeneration, which is the early signs of osteoarthritis. You can't undo degeneration once it's happened, so the best thing that you can do is get early treatment, early prevention, just like you would with getting your car tires aligned. It really helps to just balance out the mechanics and keep everything healthy for as long as possible. So I want to talk about proper positioning at your desk and also proper treatment that we can do here in the office.